Hi everyone, this is another Saradigm video. I try to post them at least monthly, if not bi-weekly, just kind of when things pop up and when I'm not super duper busy at the moment. I try to talk about something important, and this one's probably going to be pretty short compared to what they normally are, but it'll still be something that I think is important to address. I was thinking a couple weeks ago about how sometimes I wish I could just sing, not even just in a professional way or anything, but just worship leading in the church, the way I feel doing that. I know after a while it could be tiring and could still feel like a job, but if I love it enough, which I do, I wish I could just do that, get paid for that, and not have to worry about making money elsewhere, not have to worry about even chores and errands, just to do that, 5 days a week, come home, have a nice meal with my husband, travel the world, have millions of dollars. Wouldn't that be great? But anyway, I was just daydreaming a little bit. But I was thinking about my heart when I'm serving, which most, if not all the time, it's unpaid, it's volunteered. But I was thinking about if I were paid, how it could affect me and how it maybe affects people. But also I was thinking about the kind of misconceptions about serving, and I wanted to address a couple of things. There's always a line when you're serving God to not let it become too routine or passionless. In fact, it's a myth that you have to gruel and hate serving for it to seem more sacrificial and helpful. You can enjoy where God has put you. If you're not enjoying your service, in fact, it might not even be where you're supposed to serve. And if you don't enjoy it that much, maybe it's for other reasons. I'm not saying just quit next week, but think about where you really think your gifts would be best placed. And if it's not where you're at, give your ministry some time to find someone else to replace you if needed. But consider if it's the best place for you to be. I think that God designed every single one of us. If only everyone in the church would serve, then the church would fully give generously and work as a body, and the Sunday sitting in church getting the message would just be one part of church. It's not the extent of church. Usually people just go to church, hear the message for 2 hours a week, and that's it. But church is a lot more than that, at least for me. I've served in children's ministries, homeless ministries, and some other places here and there for big events, but my niche really is worship leading. I really feel that. I'm not the best singer in the world. I have a lot of growth I could have musically, but my heart is there. It's where I feel most like the me that God created me to be. I'm not paid for it. I don't mind it. I really don't. In fact, I could probably offer up every single day of the week if they needed, but they don't. We're large enough that we don't really have to do that. I'm not paid for it, but I know some key worship leaders at my church who are paid as staff, and that's the case in many other churches. I know other servant ministers in different ministries who are paid, as well as some who are volunteered. It comes down to the needs of the church and the hearts of the people, and the hearts of the people can still be after God if they're paid. I really believe that. Their hearts may not always be in it. There are some people who probably are in it for the money, and then things might arise that would expose that. But I also think of Christian music artists who are obviously compensated for their music. Also, some of them probably like getting money, and then they become too self-glorified, and then they do it just for the money. I'm sure that happens. It's a temptation, but the thing is it really that wrong for them to just want to have more time to offer up their servant leadership? If they're paid, they don't have to have another job taking away half their time. It might purely be they want more time to not have to worry about making money. What they do in ministry makes them money. It's hard for people in church to reach people outside the church. I hear that all the time from people. So there are challenges and benefits to both sides. I'm just here to say that just because you're paid, or just because you know someone who's paid to serve in a certain capacity, does not necessarily mean they're less spiritual, or they care about God less, or their heart's not in it as much. None of that is necessarily true. It can be, but I don't think it's as true as we think it is. And we can't pass judgment on them, because I'm sure most of them follow the Lord closely and don't worship God for the money. In fact, if they're paid for their music, they don't have to have that second job. They have more time to devote to the worship events and writing music for Jesus, or whatever servant capacity they're in. They have more time. That is if their heart is centered on God and reaching broken people for His kingdom. By the way, Christian artists reach hundreds, thousands, even probably millions of people through their music. Some people won't like the style of music, or maybe say it's too loud or too quiet, or they didn't say Jesus enough in the song, or it sounds too traditional or too contemporary. But preferences in music between people does not mean that the artist is singing or playing for the wrong reasons. It doesn't necessarily make it less worshipful. And about music preferences, they are just that. All genres, tempos, volumes of music can be praise to God. It comes down to the heart of the people offering it. Family pastor of Grace Church, Wichita Falls, Texas, Reggie Coe, said on January 15th, "Effective ministry always points others to Christ, not to ourselves." If whatever you're doing does that, I don't care if you're paid or not. You being paid is probably because they really need your experience or something, or maybe there's not enough people stepping up to serve voluntarily. But aside from that, are you pointing others to Christ? You may not know if you are, but if you are asking God to do that for you, to be that vessel, then I think that God can do it. I think that's easy. When you're doing what you love and you're serving people in the process. I've linked another video on a similar topic you can watch. It addresses worship leaders and being on the stage, and gives you some valuable insight into the thought that goes into being that vessel for the congregation to worship God, and how not to be a distraction away from God. If you want clarification, have a question, or have a video request, please comment below or message me privately, and I look forward to next time.